There we go. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to more Ace Attorney. Won't be doing too long today. Do a couple of hours before the NFL kicks off. Yeah, hoping I can get at least this murder sorted, but who knows? Let's see where it goes. Turnabout Samurai. So this is the. So we had court. Realized there was more people there. We then did some investigating. Found some kid who told us not really much. And basically, it looks like the dude we're representing probably did it. Here he is. The murderer. Mr. Wright? Yes? Why do you look so unhappy? Oh, nothing. Really, it's nothing. Right, Mia? Oh, she looks even unhappier. Phoenix. Your client is now practically a dead man walking. Whoa. So as well as 3-day things, is it also like death penalties? Perhaps that's why I feel particularly close to him. This is no time for dead people jokes, please. You know we're going into this trial utterly defenseless. Yet, if Mr. Powers is truly innocent, we should be able to find something overlooked in the evidence to prove it. Something overlooked. We have to find Phoenix today. It's that, or lose the trial. This ain't gonna be easy. October the 19th, 10 o'clock. District Court, Courtroom 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgelord, your opening statement, please. An unexpected fact has come to the attention of the court. Yesterday we learned there were other people present at the studios. Today I would like to show evidence proving they had nothing to do with the murder. Very well. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. I wonder if it'll be that producer. Prosecution calls Mr. Manella. Or the director. God, it's this guy. It's a good thing he's got a towel with him at all times, given he just seems to constantly sweat. Will the witness state his name and profession? How rude can you get? You don't know me. I'm the director. I make the Steel Samurai noob ruffle. Sal Manella. I'm a director, television. Were you at Global Studios the day of the murder? Yes, Your Honor. Very well, please testify to the court about the events of that day. Phoenix, let's start by picking this testimony apart. If Powers is innocent, you know what that means. Someone in the trailer on that day did it. Right. Don't waste any time putting on the pressure. The day of the murder. I was at the studio from around 9 o'clock that morning. During the morning, I was doing an action scene run through. It took a lot more time than I thought it would. I hear that everyone else ate lunch in the employee area. I had a meeting in the Studio 2 trailer, so I ended up skipping lunch. We were in the meeting until around 4 o'clock. During the meeting, well, I'm pretty sure no one left their chairs. That's about it. The time of Mr. Hammer's death was 2:30, and according to your testimony, you were in a meeting at that time. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. The day of the murder. I was at the studios from around 9 o'clock that morning. I think he's cool with that. Doesn't sound confident. In the employee area? That's right. It was a fight scene between the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate. Was anyone else at the run-through? Oh yeah, that security lady was sitting there watching the whole thing, lol. She was cheering on Hammer, if you can believe it. He certainly has the lungs for it. Anyone else? Nope, just us four. Took a lot more time than I thought it would. Why did it go on so long? I'm pretty sure you've already heard about this. But WP twisted his ankle during the run-through, see? Alright, thus the limp. Which of course led me to missing my lunch. Ruffs. What's Ruffs? Rolling on the floor sad? Ha! I tried to work this out and it's happened right there. I hear that everyone else ate lunch in the employee area. What exactly did they have for lunch? T-bone steak. The assistant cooks them up. Come to think of it, there was a plate with some bones on it in the employee area. Everyone else, meaning that the witness, did not eat with them. Well, I had a meeting in Studio 2, so I ended up skipping lunch. About the food outside, so in the end you didn't get to eat. Yeah, no steak at least. Can you believe it? That must have been tough. Phoenix, does something about that C-mod to you? Yeah, it does, a C-mod now you mention it. Mr. Manella. What do you want? When I went to Studio 2, I saw something on the table there. There were two plates, the same kind of plates as the ones in the employee area. Do you ate lunch then? Good call. Oh yeah, was embarrassed, so I didn't mention it. But I did eat after all. T-bone steak, you mean? Yeah, well, I mean, the assistant went through all that trouble. I brought it to the trailer thinking I could eat it later. Clearly a man who likes to eat, I suspected as much. So when exactly did you eat? We took one break during that meeting. I wolfed it down then. A mental image I will carry with me to my grave. Wait a second. If they took a break in the meeting, it contradicts his testimony. I'll press on that one a little more. Yeah, right. You didn't take a single break? Well, yeah, not one. What's he swearing about? If only I had an idea. Wait a second. Maybe I do have an idea. Wait a second, Mr. Miller, you've just contradicted yourself. Didn't you just tell the court you ate that T-bone steak during our break? Oops, ruffle. Well, Mr. Manella, what's this all about? Well, yeah, I guess we did take a little break. Phoenix, great job. If they took a break, one of them could have gone to the studio during that time. Get lawyered. Yes, Beanin. Hope you're right, buddy. Your Honor, I call on the witness to testify to the court about this break. Mr. Manala, your testimony, please. Uh-oh. Edgeworth is laughing. God, Edgelord. The break. Yeah, for what I don't know what even that means. We took a break, Ruffle. It was only 15 minutes. 15, that's only 13 base 12. Not enough time for someone to say, commit murder in the Studio 1, lol, ha ha ha. That's only enough time to eat a T-bone steak, if you ask me. I don't think it would even be enough time for that, but that's just me. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. I want to know what this means. Time to use the Saturday to take the break. I'd say it was from around. Ooh! Dun dun dun! That's the time of death. So we could have gone to Studio 1, killed Hammer and come back. I guess it was possible time-wise. But it was only 15 minutes. What were you doing for those 15 minutes? Eating my T-bone steak, what else? There were 2 plates on the table. Oh right, the other one was Diva Squares plate. Diva Squares, the producer. To eat a T-bone steak in 15 minutes. That's quite a feat. Not enough time for some bit murder, lol. Why is that? And we had enough of this pointless line of questioning. Your Honour, the testimony to this point has made one certain fact painfully clear. The people in the trailer had nothing to do with this murder. It was impossible for any of them to go to Studio 1. What? Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Surely you aren't suggesting one of the people in the trailer went to Studio 1. Well, Mr. Wright, Phoenix, this is critical. Think about it before you give your answer. Do you claim someone from the trailer went to Studio 1? If I agree
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thanks, being in. Lots of love, man. If I agree to let everyone in that trailer off the hook, then the trial is over. Though I have realised that is very big. Get absolutely hydrated. Hydrated away. I'm just going to shrink that text down because it seems to have gone a little bit weird. No, not what I need. This is what I need. No, it is that one. Mr. Powers will be found guilty for sure. The victim was murdered at 2:30, the exact time of the break in the meeting. Never a dull moment with you, Mr. Wright. What's your point, Edgeworth? You've been doing your homework, haven't you? Look at the court record. Surely you knew that from 2:15 to 4 o'clock the path between the studios was blocked. Miss Monkey's head had fallen across the path. Well, you're right. True, the break in the trailer meeting came right at the time of death. However, the path there from the scene of the crime was blocked. I mean, you could have definitely walked around that. The fallen Miss Monkey head barred the way. It's actually Mr. Monkey, but Edgeworth has a point. Bloody edgelord. And somehow I feel no desire to correct him. No counter-argument, Mr. Wright. Then I'm afraid you lose this round. Oh, get wrecked. I believe we have seen enough evidence. I'd like to relieve Mr. Manella from the stand. What? It's over? Very well. The court opinion on this case is followed. We have found that there were several other people in the studio, 2 on the day of the murder. However, it is also clear that none of these people could have gone to Studio 1. They therefore have no relation to the case. Furthermore, with regards to the photo of the Steel Samurai, given the size of the costume, no one other than Miss Powers could have worn it that day. All that is lacking is the decisive evidence that he is the one who did it. If we had that, I'm afraid I would have to find Mr. Powers guilty. Your Honour, the prosecution is pleased to announce that we indeed have decisive evidence. A witness. Who is this witness, Mr. Edgeworth? My witness saw the very moment when the Steel Samurai skewered the victim. Order! I will have order! I see. The court will take 10 minutes recess, after which we'll hear your witness. The court is adjourned for recess. October 19th, 11:04 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. What do we do now, Mia? If everyone in that trailer has an alibi... I'm sorry, Phoenix. I guess I was wrong. Yeah? Don't tell me you're giving up. If you give up, what hope do I have? Don't get me wrong. Like, if it turns out he did it, like, what can you do as a lawyer? It's like, okay, yeah, like... I've never given up on a trial, before, not while there was a chance. Only one thing became clear in your cross-examination. The people in the trailer could not have gone to Studio 1. I thought there was more to it than that. I was wrong. That's all there is. What's gonna happen to me? Kinda seems like everyone in the courtroom thinks I did it. They think I'm a murderer. Don't worry, Mr. Powers. If you're innocent, we'll prove it. I guarantee it. Leave it to us and be yourself. Be strong. You are the Steel Samurai. Hero to children everywhere, after all. You. Thanks. Okay, Phoenix, this one's for the kids. Let's do it. I mean, I think the guy's, like, in trouble enough anyway. Court is back in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution has concern. As our witness is a grade schooler of tender years and this is a murder case, we worry that the defence might cause unnecessary trauma with this cruel questioning. Nice to see Edgeworth taking moral high ground. However, we have no choice. Prosecution calls Cody Hackins to the stand. Your Honour, perhaps you could arrange for a boxer to stand up. Alright, guards, please bring him a box. One of those donut crates should do. Put your camera down! You're in court! Will the witness state his name and grade in school? Witness! What? Just because you're all grown up doesn't mean you can push me around? Right. Cody, answer his question, okay? Hey, it's you, the nice lady. I'm Cody Hackins. I'm in 2nd grade. I get the feeling this is going to be a long, long day. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember that you're speaking to a child. Try and be gentle. Witness, I mean Cody. He's having trouble with this gentle thing. You were present. You were at Global Studios the day of the incident. You got a problem with that? Why is no one taking the little sword off him? Please tell us what you saw that day. What pops you want me to tell you and Gramps with the beard over there? Just... I prefer bearded gentlemen myself. But I like sometimes he just takes control. Incidentally, photographic equipment is strictly forbidden in this courtroom. My apologies, Your Honour. He said he wouldn't testify if you couldn't bring it. I'd like special permission if that's possible. Wait, so you're saying you had to bargain terms with a kid and you lost? Hey, I just got this new camera. Don't really know how to use it all that good yet. But if I bring it with me everywhere I go... Phoenix, what if you had the camera on the day of the murder? You'd better make a note of it in the court record. Very well, Cody. Please testify to the court what you saw on the day of the incident. I wanted to see the Steel Samurai rehearsal, just once. I found a map on the internet and went to the studios that day. I went through the woods off the path so the old lady wouldn't catch me. I was going for the studio. I got kinda lost on the way though for about 30 minutes. When I came out by the studio, there was the Steel Samurai. It totally rocked. Right before my eyes, out came the Bankai. Of course, the Steel Samurai took him down. Pow! If I had my camera with me, that would have been the time for a shot, I tell you. Anyway, I couldn't get into the studio, so I went home. Very well. The defence may begin its cross-examination. Well, be gentle. Remember, you're talking to a child. I know, they're talking about this camera and he's just got a sword. This kid is tougher than most adults we see in here, honestly. Want to see the Steel Samurai? Just once. You really like the Steel Samurai, huh? Of course I do. I taped every show. And I go also the live performances. That's impressive. Have you been to the amusement park? Of course, duh. My dad always takes me. Poor dad. I found a map on the internet and went to the studio that day. Was that the first time you've been to the studio? Actually, I've been a couple of times. I never managed to get there on a rehearsal day. And that security lady's always yelling. Right, please continue. Chill, Pops, I'm getting to it. How am I supposed to do it? You cut me off all the time. Jeez. Correct. I went through the woods off the path so the lady would catch me. Off the path. Yeah, you know how the studios are in the valley there? If you go off the path a little, there's woods. That's where I was. I see. Anywho. Ooh, that's how the murderer used. I was going for the studio. I got kind of Did nothing unusual happen on the way to the studio? Unusual? Did you see this monkey by any chance? Oh, you mean Mr. Monkey? Yeah, I saw him, but his head wasn't busted. So he went straight to the studio. I got kind of lost though on the way for about 30 minutes. You got lost in the woods? Yeah, I couldn't figure out which way I was walking. Man, I was relieved when I saw the blue studio doors. Well, guess what happened next? When I came there, was the Steel Samurai. Steel Samurai? Yeah, he was standing by the studio gate. He looked like he was thinking about something before going in. Then he opened up the gate and went inside. Let's see, what then? Totally rocked. Right before my eyes came out the bad guy. Of course, the Steel Samurai took him down. How? If I had my camera. I was asking about camera. If you had your camera. You mean you weren't carrying your camera then? No, I wasn't. It's not like I have it all the time. Really? Guess the killing freaked him out and he went in. Phoenix, remember he's a child. Be gentle. Use gentle words, but firm. Easy for you to say. Steel Samurai once. Guessing I need to do this. Cody, what you just said seems, well, a little strange. You were quite clear about that. Huh? Cody, you shouldn't lie here, you understand that, right? Mr. Wright, a word with you. Uh-oh. Was I putting pressure on too much? What is this digital camera contraption you're talking about? It's a digital camera, Your Honor. It's kind of a new sort of camera. How do I explain that? I see. Anyway, Cody. How old is this game? I can't believe you wouldn't bring your camera on a trip to the studios. You did bring it, didn't you? Mr. Wright, how cruel you are to terrorise a poor child so. I don't care if he's a child or prosecuting attorney, no one should lie in court. What do you mean, a prosecuting attorney? Well, Cody? Yeah, so I had my camera, so what? You got a problem with that? So you have a camera, did you use this camera? Why would I use it? I was too busy watching. Very well, please testify to the court about you were so busy watching. Yeah, I had a camera with me, but it was glued to the action. I couldn't take my eyes off it. The steel camera, he goes for the bad guy. Wham! Then the bad guy stopped moving. He's so strong. The Steel Samurai rules. Is that all? Well, that was brief. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Had my camera with me. You just be like, can I have a look at your camera? I didn't use it because I was too busy watching the real thing. It's glued to the action, I couldn't take my eyes off it. Goes to the bad guy. Wow. So the bad guy attacked him first. Yeah. What sort of person was this bad guy? I told you a person. He was a person. How was he dressed? I kinda don't remember. I was too busy watching the Steel Samurai. I see. And what happened next? Then the bad guy stopped moving. Why? Huh? What do you mean, why? Why wasn't the bad guy moving? Well, because the Steel Samurai brought him to justice. And how exactly did he do that? How did he do it? The samurai kick, and a samurai punch, and a samurai chop, and a samurai slap. Something like that. He's still being vague about this. What? Don't give me that look, Pops. How should I play this? If I press it too hard, the judge might keep me from continuing. I'll sit back and see how the rest of this goes. He's strong, Steel Samurai rules. What did you do after the bad guy fell, Cody? Actually, the fight was so intense that I kind of got scared, so I went straight home. Something isn't adding up here. Something about his account doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right because he's being deliberately vague. Press him on the facts. So I do have to press harder. You mean why? Why wasn't the bad guy moving? Well, because he brought him to justice with a wham and a kick and a punch and a slap. Give me that look. Cody, what? Something's bothering me. Before you said that you couldn't take your eyes off the action. Yeah, so what? Yet you missed the most important part. What is the meaning of this? The witness has stated what he saw quite clearly. You know, as well as I do, that he's being vague. Tell me, what kind of murderer uses a samurai slap? My point is this. Cody, you may have seen some of the Steel Samurai's fight, but you missed the most important part, killing Blue. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, how could this be? Can you explain how we might have missed something so vital? Well, that's the thing. Phoenix, I believe you're on the right track with this. Think, why didn't Cody see the climax of the fight? I know you can figure this out. Mr. Wright, your answer. We have asserted that this young boy is a great fan of the Steel Samurai. Why didn't he watch the climax of the fight? Missed the climax of the fight because he was looking at something else. No, that is what I meant. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. What could possibly distract this boy from seeing his idol, the Steel Samurai, fight? Did he claim he was looking at? I thought it meant like he was seeing the wrong fight. When you watch the fight, Your Honor, I have evidence. Evidence? Yes, Your Honor. Why did Cody look away during the fight? Something to do with the spear, maybe? No. Very well, I'll ask you the question again. Why would he watch the fight? He couldn't watch it. Because he couldn't watch it, how could he calmly watch a murderer taking place? No. More real fight, he would have watched. Oh, Mr. Wright, do you have another explanation? Why haven't you watched the fight? There's got to be evidence. What evidence do we have? The monkey? No. No. Gotta be evidence. I mean, I'm glad I can keep doing this because I actually have no idea. It's gotta be the monkey, right? Here's my proof. No, no monkey. Glad I'm not losing points on this. The hint for the correct answer is really vague. Why did he look away from the fight? Because he was still learning how to use it, his camera, and he missed the hit? Yeah, that is vague. The witness stated that he was recently received this camera. Yes, I'm aware of that. He wasn't entirely familiar with its operation. I'm aware of that too. Correct. Why would Cody be looking somewhere else at the critical moment? Because he was looking at his camera. He was trying to take a picture. What is that face? Bullseye. What's your problem, Pops? You got a thing for picking on little kids? Pressing, not picking. Good job, Phoenix. Cody was lying, clearly. Smart of you to realise there was no way you could just stand there watching this hero and not take a picture, right, Cody? There was only one reason why you would have looked away from the fight, and that was because you wanted to take a picture. But having just received your camera, you weren't used to using it yet. So you missed the climax of the fight, correct? Yeah. Well, Phoenix, I bet you anything he's hiding more than that. Hydrate! Oh my. Your Honor, the defense would like to request that Cody Hatkins testify once more. Could you please tell us about your camera and about it, why you didn't take a picture of the fight? Welcome to the real world, kid. Oh, he's sad now. Yeah, you're right, Pops. The Steel Samurai had just escaped from the clutches of the villain. So I held up my camera to take a picture. But the lens wouldn't open in time, so I missed it. That's all that happened, yep. Anything strange with his testimony? I'm not sure, but I'd like to proceed with the cross-examination anyway. Yeah, straight off. He got away. Steel Samurai just escaped. So you did see the beginning of the fight? Yeah. Did you notice anything unusual? I guess Steel Samurai was moving a little strange. Moving strangely. So I held up my camera to take a picture. The lens went open, so I missed it. That's all that happened. Is it all that happened? That's all? Yeah, I told you I didn't take a picture. I would have one once that lens got. You really not take a picture? No, I definitely would have taken a picture. There's got to be something here I can use. Cody, listen up, Cody Hopkins. I know exactly what happened that day. You took a picture. Bullseye. How did you know? I see through all your lies, Cody Hackins. It's one of my powers. Wow, this feels great. Yeah, I took a picture. Perhaps you could change your testimony to reflect this, Cody. Can we see the picture? I took a few shots, but it's too late, so I erased them. You erased them? Yeah. Why would you erase a picture of your beloved Steel Samurai victorious? Well, you know, why would I want to keep a picture like that? He's becoming less and less cooperative. I better find a clear contradiction soon, or some solid evidence. How can I pick holes in such short testimony? Dig up the dirt, Phoenix. Find out what this kid's all about. We are part of Riveting to install more RAM. Good. Make sure you delete System 32 as well. It clears up loads of space. Why couldn't you take a picture? The new camera has too many buttons, I couldn't figure it out. I tried to take a picture, really tried. Then when the lens opened, what did you see? Well, a person on the ground and the Steel Samurai. Scrapbook, maybe? Is it in the scrapbook? Yeah! Cody. What? Man, every time you say Cody, you followed it with something bad. I want to thank you for giving me this the other day. Huh? Oh, right. What was it you told me then? I go to every live performance. I always take a picture when the Steel Samurai lands the final blow. Whizzam. I got them all. I never missed one. A perfect collection. Cody, did you really get a picture of the Steel Samurai standing victorious over his foe? If you did, I find it hard to believe you would just erase it. When you keep it for your album. Oh! Mr. Wright, what exactly is this album? It's called The Path to Glory. It's a collection of pictures of the Steel Samurai, all taken by Cody Hackins. He claims it's a perfect collection of every battle the Steel Samurai has won. I see, don't you find this very odd, Your Honor? Among all his pictures of the Steel Samurai, none were taken that day. Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? If the Steel Samurai have just defeated his adversary, I certainly would expect to see a picture of it in this album. Exactly my point, Your Honor. Oh wait, what? No way. Phoenix, I think we finally discovered the truth. And that truth is... Mia, are we so sure about this? Did he actually? Yes. I'm pretty sure what you're thinking is right. Tell them, Phoenix. Tell them what the truth is. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what is going on here. Why was there no picture in the album from the day of the murder? Why would the boy have erased the photos? Steel Samurai didn't win. I can only think of one reason, Your Honor. Steel Samurai didn't win. That's why Cody deleted those photos. You mean the Steel Samurai lost? Well, Cody, I'm right, aren't I? Tell the truth, the bad guy defeated the Steel Samurai. No way, no! It's impossible, the Steel Samurai never loses. He never loses to anyone. Ever, Your Honor. The witness has revealed everything with his words. There was a reason why he lied and told us he did take a picture. The same reason he erased his precious photos. For Cody, it was inconceivable that the Steel Samurai could be defeated. However, Cody witnessed the impossible. He saw the Steel Samurai lose. Yet to admit what he saw would destroy everything he believed in. That's why he lied and said the Steel Samurai won. He couldn't handle the truth. Order! I will have order! Witness, I mean Cody, is this true? What did you see? Tell the court what you saw. Cody, that day you saw the Steel Samurai lose a fight, right? Didn't know you were streaming today? Yeah, just for a little bit. i.e. Yeah, I'm just going to stream for a little bit until the NFL starts. For the Falcons blow yet another lead. Oh yeah, 100%. Just absolute carnage. You're right. The Steel Samurai fell down. Then he didn't move. Where? Order! 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 What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, right? Steel Samurai was the murderer, not the victim. Yet, according to your witness's testimony, the Steel Samurai was the one who fell. Mr. Wright, what's going on? Apparently, we have all made a serious error. An error? What's all this about? Hammer was the victim, Steel Samurai was the victim. You understand what really happened, it's quite simple. At the end of the fight, the Steel Samurai fell to the ground and laid still. In other words, the Steel Samurai was not the killer, he was the victim. Don't you see? Jack Hammer was the Steel Samurai! Install unsuccessful. Tell you, System 32, man, that fixes it. Just get rid of it. It's a waste of space. Steel Samurai in this photograph, you're saying the man in this costume was the victim, Mr. Jack Hammer? That's what I'm saying, Your Honor. Jack Hammer was present at the action scene, gone through this morning. Thus, he probably knew about Will Powell's foot injury. Wait! Hadn't Mr. Hammer gone to Studio One already? That's what everyone thought. But remember what Miss Oldbag said in her testimony? The day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 o'clock. Did I see poor old Hammer? He had already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station. Mr. Jack Hammer left employee area after lunch. However, no one saw him go to Studio 1, nor was there a picture of him. He waited for Mr. Powers to take a nap in his dressing room, then he snuck into his dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. But why would the victim do such a thing? I don't know. I get it. I thought that the Steel Samurai was moving strange, so it was a different person inside the suit. Pops! Me? What? Actually, there was one piece of data I saved. Data? Yeah, a photo on my digital camera. What? Show us quick. No way, man. Not if you're gonna look at me like that. Now. Here, this is it. Just bully a kid. How is that helpful? Well, looking at this, it's a little hard to say. I'm afraid it could be anyone in that costume. Your opinion, Mr. Wright? I agree, Your Honor. This isn't decisive evidence. I'm sorry, this doesn't look like it's the proof we need. I'll give it back. Wait, Phoenix. Look at the photo once more. That's it, Phoenix. The photo is all the evidence we need to win this trial. Your Honor? May I see that photo once more, please? Certainly. I don't see why not. Show him. There's a glaring decisive inconsistency with the facts as we know them in that photo. Find the inconsistency. He's standing up, yeah. It's right here, the Steel Samurai. Yes, that's about the only thing in this picture that could be inconsistent. Steel Samurai is inconsistent with something. Right, this is no time for daydreaming and pointless pontification. Think about your client, to us who forced to listen to your rambling. Oh wait, what? I thought I did. Take that! Oh wait, that's Shido too. Objection! That's Shido too. Take that! Your Honor, look at this. I see a gate. May I draw your attention to the number on the gate? The number? Ah, yes. It looks hard to see, but it looks like a 2. Clearly not a 1, Your Honor, correct? I believe Mr. Edgelord sees what I'm getting at. But that's impossible. What's this all about? Please explain so that I might be shocked along with the rest of the court. I used the Studio guide map. The body was found here in Studio 1. However, what do we see in this photo taken at the time of the murder? It does not say 1 on that case photo. Here is the true scene of the crime. To the church where the murder took place. Take that! It was here. What's that have to do with the number of the gate in the photograph? Wait, what? I pointed at 2. We'll just have to go full-blown Studio 2 rather than like the gate. I see, that would explain the 2 on the gate in the photo. Your Honor, I find it very significant that the murder took place in Studio 2. As you may recall, there was a trailer in Studio 2. Now, on that day, a meeting was held in that very trailer. There was a break in the meeting corresponding to the time of death. During that break, Miss Sal Mantello and Dee Vanquez were outside eating steak. They were at the scene of the crime. The path to the trailer was blocked. So we have heard. The path was blocked at 2:15. In other words, the victim went to Studio 2 before that time. Yes, I suppose that would be the case. Remember Mr. Sal Manella's testimony? Allow me to remind the court. He said no one in the trailer was guilty because they could have not gone to Studio 1. Yet, actually, the reverse was true. Only someone in the trailer could have committed the murder. They were the only ones with access to the scene of the crime. Studio 2. Order! Order! The defense makes the following claims. The scene of the crime was Studio 2. The person that the security guard Miss Oldbag saw in the victim, Miss Jack Hammer. Miss Tammy, for some reason, stole the Steel Samurai costume. Then he went to Studio 2. This is madness! Jack Hammer is the victim. The victim! Why would he steal a steel samurai costume? Are you suggesting he did so to cover up the details of his own murder? Well, no, of course not. Or do you have proof? Give me the proof. I have proof. You do? Now that I suppose suddenly I'm so much less confident. I think I'm right though. Here's my proof. The sleeping pills. This is it. An empty medicine bottle. I found this on the table in the employees area. Same table where Mr. Hammer and Mr. Powers are. The label reads sleeping pills. The defendant, Mr. Powers, spent that entire afternoon sleeping. He was drugged by Mr. Hammer. Wait a moment. That bottle does raise some suspicion, yes. There is no proof Mr. Hammer used it. Your Honor, I have an idea. An idea? Well, let's hear it. I want to check this bottle for fingerprints. If my claim is true, Mr. Hammer's fingerprints should show up on this bottle. Suppose you're right. Very well. The court will take possession of the bottle. Empty bottle given to the judge. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Cody Hackett's testimony was revealed new possibilities in this case. In fact, things may have happened very differently than we previously thought. Steel samurai seen by Miss Oldbag may have been the victim, Jack Hammer. The scene of the crime was not Studio 1, but Studio 2. Those in the trailer did have time to commit murder. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? Your homework is to find the answer to the following question. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the steel samurai costume? Also, who killed him, and why? Find the answers for me by tomorrow. That's a lot of homework. What? They have detectives for this. Like, surely. Mr. Edgeworth, you will need to reconsider your stance in this case. Above all, you will need to reconsider your suspicion of Miss Will Powers, as you say, Your Honor. This trial will be extended until tomorrow. This is the last extension. They have at detective, yeah. Very well, court is adjourned. October 19th. 2:47 PM. District Court, Defendant Lobby 1. Ooh, that was a close one. You were saved by a hair, but that's all that counts. I thought seriously about going home about 3 times during the trial. Me too. Really? You both seem so confident. Ha, maybe I should take up a career in acting. I was ready to pronounce you dead about 3 times back there. Dead? Oh, of course we're kidding. Are we? I wasn't kidding. Now, Mr. Powers, we have to go make our final investigation. But I promise you we'll find the true killer by tomorrow's trial. Right, thanks. To be continued. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. October 19th, 3:27 PM. The Wright and Co. law offices. That was a close one earlier. Really? Too bad, I'm sorry I missed it. Oh, Mayor, so what happened? Oh god, such a headache going back and forth between these two. I think I've got a pretty good idea who did it. Now all we need is a motive and proof. Wow, good going, Nick. Under the initial trial system, tomorrow is the last day we have. Initial trial? What's that? That's the new court. Oh, is this... getting actually information about what is going on? It's a new court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. They had so many cases in the system that they decided to speed the whole process up. So under that system, trials have to end in 3 days? Yeah, pretty much. So what happens if it's not answered in 3 days? Don't get it, Mayor. Why would Mr. Hammer steal samurai costume? Me and Mr. Hammer was wearing the costume? Mr. Hammer was the victim, Nick. Why would he go through the trouble of stealing it? That's what we have to find out. Director's alibi. What happens with the director's testimony? It's pretty clear that the producer and the director were both in the trailer. If not sorted in 3 days, they just have a duel. Mortal Kombat rules apply. This means that the killer has to be one of them. Really? Why? Because the real scene of the crime was Studio 2, where that trailer was. Was Maya always this excitable? I don't think she has any ideas. Have you noticed anything that might help? I can't see what's going on when Mia is here. So no, I haven't noticed anything. Right, maybe we should go talk to WP. Go on then, let's have a chat, eh? Mr. Wright, could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Wow, Nick, you must have really wowed them in there. And could you wipe that grin off your face? Hey, WP, only 1 day left. Let's make it count. Else he's going to be just taken behind and shot. I'm not really sure what I can do either. Please, this is no laughing matter. Could you tell me more about Miss Vasquez? Oh, the producer. She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days. Ever since she came on board, we've had nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and nothing, forget it. I've only heard rumours anyhow. Yeah, that isn't something you keep quiet. Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manella? Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to-video director, but something in his work caught Vasquez's eye. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name Sal Manella. I've just read it as the one word it actually is, Salmonella. I'm pretty much out of beck and call though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. I can imagine it being beck and call, though I can't imagine him jumping. Mr. Hammer. I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh, yeah, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business, but he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions that go global. How could he do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to The Samurai Summer. He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vasquez came to Global. 5 years ago. We're on to something. Oh, great. The old windbag sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick, I think her guard's down. Bet we could even eat those donuts in the guard station if we wanted to. You eat, you die. Oh, she's alive. I was wondering about Dee Vasquez, the producer. All the studio bigwigs love her. She always gets her way. Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry. Can I ask you about Salmonella, the director? He's soft, a pushover. He does whatever Vasquez tells him to. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. Oh, he's a simp. Why would anyone like being treated like dirt? That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? No, it doesn't. About Mr. Hammer. I heard about what you said today, cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer, you dragged his star down from the sky and stomping it. Calling him a criminal, a thief. I won't forget this. Uh-oh, she's really pissed off this time. You listen to me, whippersnapper. My poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Powers' costume so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop so low. It's impossible. Right, let's go to the trailer. Mr. Hammer put on the Steel Samurai costume, then he came left from here and go to Studio 2. Why? I wonder if someone called him, like the producer, director. Here she is. Hey Nick, it's Miss Vasquez. Hello. H-E-L-L-O. Hey, she'd at least try and be polite. Watching the clouds. That's all she had to say, apparently. Mr. Hammer. Excuse me, Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder and... Shh. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I'm watching the clouds. I'm not interested in talking with you. Do something, Nick. She's really ticking me off. Oh, dear. Mr. Powers wasn't the killer, so you don't have to cancel the Steel Samurai. I think I'm tired of the Steel Samurai. Did it. Nick, she did it. She's the killer. My fey blood speaks to me. I know it. I know it. Oh, dear. I was wondering if you could tell me about Mr. Manella. You must talk about that man. Perhaps you could do it in the trailer. By yourselves. Oh, dear. Can I present anything to her? Wasn't the assistant cleaning up yesterday? Funny, it still seems pretty messy in here. I guess she's still on the high from getting that rare card she needed. Has anything been missed? No, nothing on the table. For now, I will let you off. Still hasn't been cleaned. I don't know, I'm getting a funny feeling. Something about this just feels odd, you know? I'd say that I do. An incinerator? A van? Let's go for a drive. I'll be back, you murderer. Nope, I didn't mean I'll be back that soon. That was a total mistake. Gate. What we got here? I guess they're not filming today either. Didn't want to see them filming. Just one time. This trial will be over and done by tomorrow. You can come see them later. Is this where you found that bottle of sleeping pills? I wonder if there's any other clues lying around. Yarr. No touching. Sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you. Just didn't mean I almost had a heart attack. I guess I could be a little dramatic at times. Suppose it's the actor in me. Dramatique, indeed. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table. Wait, you look for sleeping pills? Yeah, pal. Traces thereof. I'm gonna touch you. Some T-bone steak. So you're looking for traces of sleeping pills? How? For a thorough examination, I've got to take the plate back to the precinct. But I have capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. This reacts to the sleeping pills, see? The traces, it'll change colour. Wow, neat. What are you waiting for? Now, due time, pal. Well, the testing solution on the plate changed colour, alright? Food on the plate has been laced with sleeping pills. Looks like it. I'll go see investigation. It's a real mess. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers, and some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think, detective? Well, pal, I hate to admit it. I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. I feel bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though. How is Edgeworth doing? Mr. Edgeworth is out of control. He was in the waiting room and he crushed his paper cup. He crushed this paper cup with hot coffee in it. Whoa, talk about burns, pal. Wow, the fury of Edgeworth. Don't anger edgelords. Cups, bowls. Say, whatever happened to the empty bottle? Well, I got some good news for you about that. They found the victim, Jack Hammer's prints on the bottle. So that means Yeah, sounds like the one who put Powers to sleep was no other than the victim. Very informative. What are you doing here, Penny? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... Why? But WP's innocent. Yes, and I'm grateful for all you've done, but... This week is the last episode of Steel Samurai. What? No. I was wondering if you could talk about Mr. Hammer, yes? On the day of the murder, he was in Studio 2. I thought you were in Studio 1. You stole the Steel Samurai costume too. What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? I guess the rumour must be true then. The rumour? Yeah, Miss Vasquez, the producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. Some dirt? Dirt. Dirt, you know, bad stuff. I know what that dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new studio, Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was too. Is that trailer part of the film? You mean The Last Steel Samurai? I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. No. Also, I hear that Global Studios is planning to change its programming. They're not going to make kid shows anymore. I don't know. It's sad, but it's what Global Studios decided. Why aren't they going to make kid shows anymore? The studio bigwigs don't want Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all this ever happened. They want it quiet, you understand? How could they just do that? What about the kids who love the Steel Samurai? It's okay, I'm sure the kids will be fine. They'll find a new hero. No, that can't be true. If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken. No, Nick, say something. Yeah, I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this.
Take that!
A fan collected all of these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show shouldn't be cancelled just so some adults can save face. I would think you would understand that better than anyone. You're right. Okay, but what can I do? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago. Could you tell us what happened 5 years ago? Well, I can tell you what I heard. Apparently 5 years ago someone died and it was Hammer's fault. It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vasquez, managed to hush it up. And that's the dirt she had on Hammer. That's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know, Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. I see. You know who knows more about this? Miss Oldman. She was here at the studios back then, you know. Thanks, we'll try asking her. She'll talk. To victory! What, you're still slinking around? If you like this place so much, why don't you take over for me? The old windbag doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their darnest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studios what it is today? Hammer. It's all due to Hammer. She's starting to froth on the mouth. Maybe we should keep a safe distance. She's gone rabies. She's gone rabid. I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago. Who told? Who did you hear that from? Nichols? Nick, Penny Nichols, the assistant we talked to. Alright, anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers! Dredging up dirt on someone's past like that? And the recently departed, no less. I suppose you think it's fun? No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. You claim that Hammer stole Powers' costume. You expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof? I have proof. I'm sorry, Miss Oldbag, but I do have proof. I can prove that Miss Hammers stole the costume.
Take that!
He ate the steak. There were traces of sleeping powder. I bet Powers put it there himself. Even a lightweight like him must have trouble sleeping sometimes. Except have proof that he put the sleeping pills in with that. Hydrate! This bottle contained sleeping pills. Mr. Hammer's fingerprints were found on the bottle. Yeah. I see. Poor, poor Hammer. You did wrong. Hammer, rest your soul. This old bag? Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? I'm tired of holding it all in. This old bag. You're right. 5 years ago, there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. I guess he made it all better. Vasquez. She's ties to the mafia. Oh, well, this escalated quickly. She silenced the paparazzi. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But you have to understand, poor old Hammer never meant to harm anyone. Miss Oldbag. Hold on a minute. Poor Miss Oldbag. Here, take this. Oh, it's the bent, thing. Wait a second, this is the picture. This is the trailer in Studio 2. Hammer was supposed to fight with a bad guy on top of those stairs there. He pushed the other actor and the man fell onto the flower box fence. But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it. I understand. 5-year-old photo. Sweet. Thanks for that info. I'm now going to dob you in and give your boss a good old talking to. What you gotta say for yourself? She's not even looking. Where did you get that? Well, old bag. Oh. She means the security lady, Miss Oldbag, Nick. Right, anyway. Miss Vasquez. You hid this incident from the press, didn't you? And used it to control Hammer. The wind, huh? It's gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind. Your conversation interests me. Let's talk about it some more inside the trailer. She went inside the trailer. She is going to murder me. I'm 100% going to get wrecked by a mafia woman. Who came? Well then, what was that you were talking about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Vasquez, you were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kid shows for petty change. Huh. So I'm a blackmailer now. Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? I mean, sure, it was an accident. We used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. Oh, I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour on its own accord. Well, you were the cause, you pressured him. And to think, it was just an accident. Excuse me? What is this all about? You keep saying accident, accident. How are you so sure? What do you mean? Must I spell everything out for you? Think. What would it be if it wasn't an accident? No way. You mean Mr. Hammer did it on purpose? That's what I mean. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Just think, would he have let me run his life for 5 years over a mere accident? And I ran him hard, believe you me. The security lady said it was an accident. Oh well, she was a big fan of Hammer, you see. She jumped on the reporter who brought the photo into the studio. She wrenched it out of his hands, she did. Gave him a few bruises too. So that's why she had the photo. She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives, and he could have made a copy, but he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me. Now. This is valuable. Boys! Yep. Called it. Who are they? Professionals. They're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? What? The trial ends tomorrow. How unfortunate. It's a shame you'll have to miss it. Rip. Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt, mate. Why would D. Vasquez care about it all? I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to think about it where you're going. So long, friends. Boys, a race away. No. Hold it right there. I heard everything, pal. D. Vasquez, you're coming down to the precinct with me now. Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow then, in court. I'll be looking forward to it. Oh, I am going to get absolutely wrecked by Mafia guys. Hey, you okay, pal? Sorry, I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe. Thank you, thank you. I was really scared. Huh? Don't mention it, pal. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Okay, I've got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. Well, Nick, it looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. And who's at the bottom? D. Vasquez. Good lad, Gumshoe. Yeah, man. October 20th, 10 AM. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Will Powers. Why is he still involved? Like, surely this is like, yeah, you can go. This is bigger than you know. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgelord. Your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for the case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today, I will call people present at the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a little on edge today. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgelord. Prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. D. Vasquez is a producer. How would they be able to be decisive? Both sides had decisive evidence. Oh man, this judge is like ridiculous. D. Vasquez is a producer who was present. I mean, this is a law system where you are guilty unless you can prove someone else is guilty, and you have 3 days from the date of the murder. D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Like, surely someone's should stop us smoking. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez, I am a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must prophonicate, do it when I'm not here. Right. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. I know she did it. Make her pay. If she's guilty, I'll catch up with her pants down, so to speak. Oh, yeah. Why is she not being called up for trying to get me beaten up and a policeman having to stop her? I entered the trailer. Oh, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp and ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That is all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, and you had Sal take you. The van. There's a van in Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk with all that monkey's head toppling over. The van. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. And at the trailer, a little before noon. What evidence do we have? Sleeping pills, all this stuff. Okay. She can have that. She can have that. Legit. Let's ask her about this. Hold on, you said Sal take you. What does that mean? It means just what I said. I had Sal take me in the studio 2 van. Which means they couldn't move the body. We took a 15-minute break in the meeting. We ate T-bone steaks. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. It means someone else. One person is enough. She committed to murder during that break. She wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. Had some evidence that she didn't eat the steak. Found anything? She hasn't said much. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find some sort of contradiction. By yourself? You entered before noon? And you didn't stop in the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. Meeting? Did no one leave during the meeting? If you didn't eat steak, you therefore guilty of murder. The old classic. Exactly. No one left during the meeting. Come on. Let's talk a bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. Same could be said with you, Mr. Edgelord. Please, stop banging on your little desk, it hurts my ears. She's just smoking a pipe. When exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering. No. The meeting ended at 4 and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think. Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edworth. Right. So, something to do with the steak. Proof the steak. I don't have anything to prove she didn't eat the steak. I ended the trailer a little before noon. Meeting began at 12 and ended at 4. There was a rehearsal afterwards. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Maybe if... Hold on, you had Sal take you. Oh no, my goodness. 15-minute break in the meeting. Nah, the sleeping pills was to do with the other one. Other bit. We're just trying to prove she didn't eat. This is the only thing I think I've got. Before noon, began at 4. That one. I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to try talking about the car. No. This evidence clearly contradicts nothing. Get wrecked. To be a rehearsal afterwards. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. The monkey's head? Your Honour, what do you think about the witness's statement? Not sure I follow. He so contradicts, I thought. You don't sound very convinced, Mr. Wright. Objection overruled. Oh. Balls. But how could she take him if she was in the car? There was a monkey. Somebody we can verify the No. Evidence she proves she didn't eat the steak. I don't have anything. Fatigued. At 2:30 we took a 15-minute break. We ate T-bone steaks. Just show the photo.
Objection!
As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak, but I say you did not. What happened after steaks? Well, I showed her. I brought the steaks out as evidence, the sleeping pilled steak. So I'm not really sure how this is going to help. Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on a table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright needed to remind you that it was a T-bone steak. Exactly my point, remember if you will. Miss Suez and Miss Manella ate the table outside the trailer. There was no bone. There was no bones on the plates. The plates were bare. I'm not sure this is great evidence she might like bones. Giggling. Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You ate the bones too. You ate the bones too. You ate the bone too. Nick, are you sure? I mean, I love steak, but I don't eat the bone. Hey, I don't eat it either. Mr. Wright, I too leave the bone. Can I try that again? You didn't eat the steak. You took your steak and threw it somewhere. Like the incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Hi, Dusky. Hi, by the way, just following the rules. Brilliant. Hope you're right. I eat only the bones, no steak. No steak, all bone. I'm off red zone. In a bit, ye. Lots of love. I'll be joining you soon. This is good stuff. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. I'll be joining Forehead Samurai. Okay, you just made it weird. But I do love you. Order! 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 What are you saying? Yes, Your Honor. Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak. She ran into the Steel Samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Nah, she got the boys to do it. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous?
Objection!
What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim he was. You say I did it. Nah, she got like little minions to do it. Fascinating. And here I'll be worrying today that would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Like, right now, my family are just being pummeled by her mafia dudes. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was the murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. I am, as you can say, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as the weapon? It's not impossible.
Objection!
Well, it's not impossible, but silence. I'm speaking. Get wrecked. The victim was stabbed through the chest in the front, yes? I believe this would indicate that the victim was aware of the killer's presence. Now, the Steel Samurai costume is quite light and mobile. Compared to the victim, I am weaker and slower. I can't possibly win such a fight. Not to mention, there is proof I did not have the spear. The photograph of the Steel Samurai shows that the victim himself was holding it. Do you mean to suggest that I could have wrestled it away from him? Yeah, take that, right? You still think she did it? Show us the proof. Hey Nick, look at the data we have on the Steel Samurai Spear in the court record. There's something that gets to you? Something odd about the spear? Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Sorry, Your Honor. I'd like to take back my previous claim. Very well, I won't hold you to your claim. But I'm afraid I'll have to penalise you. Oh, right. What's this? You're taking back your claim? Let's backtrack for a moment. I want to consider whether the witness would have used the samurai spear or not. However, this has no bearing on this case. The samurai spear is not the murder weapon. Bum, 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 bum. What's the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as a murder weapon because it's broken. I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. Well, that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. But no one checked it for blood. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run through? If someone's fixed the spear, it was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who was wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence! I'm the one testifying here and I will be heard. Brett. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell, what was? How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what was used to kill? I'm assuming I can tell you. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can be sometimes unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see the murder weapon. It was a T-bone steak. Oh, it's the spiky fence. This photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing on top of the stairs. Order, order. If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This is a photograph from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is the photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close, kept-up secret at the studios. What does that have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgelord, you still can't see it? See the man has fallen in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago? Has happened again! Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 on the day of the murder. Miss Steve Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs into the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer himself done 5 years ago. Whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer. He died the same way as he caused the other man to die. 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Looking a bit unsettled there with your pipe. Ho ho ho, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing stuff. You deny what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say for the sake of the argument that Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet the body was found in Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. You were then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed in this costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could he have dealt the body? What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. With the brum brum. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1 and used the studio van to do it. Call your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Cell take me. There was a van there, right? I had Cell drive me. Used a van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then before anybody else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume.
Objection!
Hold on, Wright. Don't forget it was Sal Manella who drove the van. Are you suggesting that Manella was a conspirator? Of course Sal Manella was being a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burnt it in that small incinerator. Well, Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? Oh, she's about to get mafiaed on me. So what happens next? Don't question mark me. Did you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez, so it was you? You killed Jack Hammer? Silence. You can say. Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, you just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right, but that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? So even though she's the closest to it, she has more proof against her than the guy I'm trying to defend. The guy's still going to go to prison unless I have decisive proof. This court is ridiculous. Literally, the police turn up and just go, you were the closest, so you're going to prison unless you can prove someone else, unless you can do our job and prove someone else did it. Reasonable doubt, what's that? Yeah. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Well, of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very unlikely she did it. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've got no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? Testify again. I'd like you to testify again. Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before, the truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I did it again? You ask the same questions and get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. It seems there are no further questions. I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez.
Objection!
Yes, Mr. Edgelord? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honour. I didn't. I see. Very well.
Objection!
Your Honour, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make sense to you, Your Honour? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes, Mr. Edgelord. I too do see little point in making this request repeat itself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, indeed. Very, I say, ago. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body. Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth? Who knows? He probably realised she did it too. But wasn't he the one who said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that, Edgeworth. The edgelord is joining Team Weird. Team Wright. Huh. I was with Sal and Oldbag and the security lady when we found the body. The assistant was there too. Only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady Oldbag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script, then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. We're close, real close. She may be acting tough, but if you put her on a spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. Okay. The assistant was there too. Only Powers was absent. Miss Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember what? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm? You certainly seem calm enough when I accuse you of murder. Wait a second. Wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vasquez? Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Where is Powers during all this? He's not even he's not testified his own case. Very well, Miss Vasquez, you may continue. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing in that time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then, silence. Dead silence. Silence. Hey Nick, why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. Lighten things up? Oldbag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him go into the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai. Did the detective arrest Miss Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seemed to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard it all after the fact. The photograph, meaning the one by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. Yeah, this is issue. You asked to be left out. Yes, it seems like everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting, there was no way we could have been involved, thus they covered for us. Covered for you. Or covered it up for you. There must have been a lot riding on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. Can I call up on the... Why is no one asking her about her, like, flipping get wrecked squad? The scripts in your notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder after all. You could think of rehearsing after that. No, wait, but that's after the case. Yeah. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness. How come me and him have worked it out? Think. Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there won't be a rehearsal. Didn't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder going on, know about the murder before going to Studio 1. Order! Order! Mr. Edgelord. What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defence? I appreciate the concern, Your Honour. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution cahoots with defence. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there were no errors. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reasoning. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Right. Good old edgelordy boy. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal, he told me. Sal, the director. You have to find something to peg this on her here. Or everything we've done till now will be wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. I was a salad old bag. The assistant was there too. Immediately called the police. The pals showed up. Blamed old bag. Left me left out. I knew Hammer to do any actions. No, I didn't need to do that. What have we got? Yeah, that I'm assuming, because why would you go to the trailer? Why would you go to there if it wasn't going to happen? Oh no, I'm going to lose. Yeah. Oh no, I've still got one life left. Why would she go to it if it wasn't there? Oh really? Is that how this works? How do you save it? Save. Okay, I didn't realise I could save like that. Also, I didn't realise you have to replay the whole chapter. I want to think further back for this one. Time of death. Striking a leg. I knew Hammer was injured, but I couldn't do anything. That just proves the point, using the picture. Map's not gonna help. Third weapon. Tile of the evidence. Oh wait, yeah. I knew that Hammer was injured. She got it the wrong way around. Cheeky. Cheeky. You knew that Hammer was injured. Okay. I like how as we get on, they become more and more like the details becoming more and more minute. Like when we started playing, it was like, well, this is just stupid. Now you have to get really into the details. I'm liking it. Don't you think that's a little funny? Sorry if that made it obvious. No, to be honest, no, that's helpful. Else I would have just been there going, I was on the right track though. I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in the photo. Well, that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Powers, not Hammer. Now, why do you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said Sal who told me. That's right, he must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Mandela was at the run-through in the morning. He would have known it was Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Miss Mandela. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Powers. Aha. When was he doing this? Well, it would have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2 where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in the Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order, order, I will have order. Witness, can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Like, I now have multiple hitmen on me. I think that's pretty obvious. I have a question for you. Ugh, why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death, nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Well, people didn't care about motive before. If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defence have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove he has a motive? Of course I can. Okay, I have proof and I'll show it to you. Present to the court the evidence of proof. It's going to be the picture again, surely. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in his murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It begins on that day, 5 years ago. Ironically enough, the accident precipitated by Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. Are we talking about motives here, or you only have talked about Mr. Hammer? It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have no reason to kill Hammer. Hydrating. All the hydrates. How to pause a very tense moment. I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. What would you do about your loyal trip viewership keeping you hydrated? This is very true. I'm going to say she had no motive, and I'm assuming it's going to be self-defense. But I'm going to save it. She had no motive, Your Honour. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What was that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. Called it. What? Your Honour, Jack Hammer drugged Miss Powers with sleeping pills. Mr. Powers. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the steel samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill Diva Squares, who had cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. She broke her pipe. So you did it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere, but too late. Ah, Miss Vasquez. What? What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel. Miss Vasquez, please try to make up. No, how could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel, don't touch him. Miss Vasquez, no. Please don't die. Please. What a lovely flashback. Oh, she ain't got a pipe anymore. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. Mr. Edgeworth, where's Steve Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor, as calm as collected as ever. I see, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should only be found is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well, this court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. Confetti. That is all. Court is adjourned. October 20th. 12 past 1. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder makes me so sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to blame on you because... This is a scrapbook. Because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai. Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting on a kid show, and as a villain to boot. Kids love Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. You could have just told me. I would have changed places with him anytime. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP. Oh. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Is something wrong? No, of course not. Ah. Nick. Edgeworth. Oh, Edgelord. Look at that. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk.
All right.
Good detecting.
Oh, thank you. I don't know why that doubled up. I thought I got it sorted. But yeah, thank you for the bits, man. That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No. I really want to thank you. Miss Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth, I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right, I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am saddened with unnecessary feelings? Oh man, this guy is over. Feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What, friends, as if? They're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me, what's the deal with you and Edgeworth? Were they like bros? We're going to be lawyer pals together. And so the curtain closed on the trial. And I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change and went back to making kid shows again. Nick, this is it. The new show starts today. You've got to watch it with me, right? I admit I was kind of surprised. I didn't think seriously they'll go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade these with Cody and that assistant.
Alexa, remind me to subscribe to Lethalbankai every day at 9 a.m.
Thanks, mate. Is that double sounding for you as well? For you guys? Or is that just something weird with my settings? I'll deal with that later. It's doing double. Okay, I will sort that out. As being in is proven, I have set up, obviously not quite right, but I've set it up so you can bit and do text to speak as well. But I will work it out. Twice the Alexa. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't that great? WP gets to play the lead again. I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. The end. New episode has been added. The Turnabout Goodbyes. And we'll save it there, and we'll be back. I'll carry on this sometime next week. I think Wednesday is when I'll carry this on next, if I remember my scheduling. But either way, I'll update on Twitter when I am doing it again. Always try and do the weekends and stuff when I can. I've actually got a bit of work coming up, so I'll be doing it around that. I'm still working on the YouTube stuff. I'm hoping the reason it's taken so long is I'm planning to just bulk everything on there rather than doing like twiddly bits. So I'm working on that. And thank you for the...
Alright!
Invest in Bitcoin now. Invest in Bitcoin now.
And yeah, thanks a lot for... Oh, I know exactly why it's doing it twice. Because I changed the font size and I think it's playing on browser. As well as thing, purely because...
Alright!
This is a test.
Yeah.
This is a test bit alert.
Yeah, I worked it out. I just had the alert box testing on my browser because I was changing the font size from the gift. Yeah, fixed it. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I'll be streaming again soon. Later on in the week. Lots of love. I'm gonna go watch some sports ball. I think not, Your Honour. Will Powers was innocent. That he should only be found is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well, this court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. Confetti. That's all. Court is adjourned. I think not, Your Honour. Will Powers